It's overnight on 3AW and time we talk to media, and that means Nick Hayes. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Mr. McLaren. Good morning, Mr. Petkovic.
G'day, Nick. How are you, mate?
Oh, very good. So, gentlemen, what are you doing working on a Queen's birthday weekend? Don't you guys get time off?
You're kidding. We are here for Fairfax.
We are company men.
Well, I would have thought that you're, as recipients of the Order of Australia today, you would have got at least a day off.
No. I think they must have got lost in the mail. I don't know what happened there.
No, we are company men.
I play it the company way. Wherever the company puts me, there I stay.
But what is your point of view?
I have no point of view.
Supposing the company thinks
I think so too.
So there.
That's how it goes. There's the philosophy of overnights on 3AW, Nick.
How long have you been sitting on that one just to press the button for that one? That is great.
He loves it. It's from How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, by the way.
Yes.
Now, we better get down to business and what we're talking about instead of...
More show tunes, would you like?
No, perhaps not.
Okay,
no,
good.
No, I don't think so. But we'll get back to you on that one. Nick, now you're, of course, in the far, far west, and we speak to you usually in that position, but apparently what's going here in Victoria and Spring Street is getting quite a bit of attention your way too.
All the focus is what's going on in Victoria because we're all focusing on this guy called Geoff Shaw. And
I know, it's remarkable, isn't it?
Who is this Geoff Shaw? He sometimes has a beard, sometimes he doesn't. He turns up and he looks like he's offending someone, then he's not offending others. He's doing all sorts of things, but we're seeing him over here in the West, and also, too, I've noticed a lot of coverage that's getting around the other states as well. So what is going on in Victoria? I should be asking you two, gentlemen, but the reality is that this guy has immense power, and I dare say this week's going to be a significant week there for the Victorian Government on what they decide they're going to go away and do. And I'm not actually sure at this moment right now, because bearing in mind that there has been a public holiday just gone, as to what position they're actually in to whether a no confidence motion goes through the government from the opposition, or whether the government, the Premier himself, says, look, let's just dissolve this and get this fixed and get on the front foot. And
I don't know. I wonder if Dennis Knapp...
country, and I couldn't imagine what's going on your side.
Well, I don't think Dennis Napthine is going to be too keen. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be an interesting week, isn't it? But I don't think it's going to be that mad on a no confidence motion. I don't think so. But certainly Daniel Andrews seems to be heading in that direction, doesn't he?
Well, he does. And look, he's in a fairly powerful position, Daniel, in that he can choose either way, but also, too, the Premier's going to look pretty weak if he goes down the pathway of not taking this by the scruff of the neck and getting this fixed. And, this seems to be the way we're heading, not just with state politics in Victoria, but also to federal politics. We're not very far away from a new Senate being placed in, and there's also been a lot of media over a certain senator that is coming in who's from the Motoring Enthusiasts Club, and he got a little bit of a doing over by the media over the weekend.
He sure did, yes.
He did indeed, and there's no denying that. But, I mean, what is going on with Australian politics, and particularly the media loves this, is that there is no absolute leader, there is no absolute pathway for any legislation or any particular movement to be able to say, look, this is what we're doing, and let's just keep moving on. It just doesn't seem to be working, and it's getting really frustrating for a lot of people out there. And you can hear it on radio, you can hear it in the news, you can see it in the newspapers, and particularly online. There is a lot of talk in Twitter and Facebook about this particular fella, Geoff Shaw, but also Australian politics altogether. It's a real shambles at the moment.
It does seem it. I don't know how it's going to work with this, a potentially hostile Senate for Tony and Joe and all the rest of them in Canberra. And certainly I don't know in Victoria what will happen if, for example, Geoff Shaw is expelled from Parliament. I really just don't know how it'll play out. I think the Libs, the coalition in Victoria, want Shaw, as my understanding, I stand to be corrected on this, want him to be suspended from Parliament so the Parliament can sort of continue on its merry way at least until the election in November, as it is. But I don't know if the Labor Party's going to go with that. It will, as I say, we'll find out in the next few days. But I know what you mean. It's destabilising, isn't it, really?
Well, by the look at the numbers, the Liberal Party is going to need a lot more time to get faith back in the Victorian public and constituents there. So there is a lot of issues that are going on in Victoria. It just seems to be, November they have to go to an election. You're on 4-year election rounds. You've got to go, but going early, I don't necessarily think will be a good thing for the Liberal Party. But let's get this right. I think Australians across the country are getting frustrated with politics, both at a state and also too at a federal level.
I would love to think that somehow we will reform the Senate voting process in Canberra sooner than later, in my lifetime, because it does seem a little odd. Anyway, we'll leave it there because much has been said about that particular issue. But the Motoring Enthusiasts Party holds sway, may hold sway with our futures. Now, let's get on to happier matters. And your boy from WA is doing so well.
He has indeed, Daniel Riccardo. Now, a lot of the listeners tonight may not be big motor enthusiasts. I will be one to join them as well. I'm not big on the Grand Prix. I do love watching the start and the finish of a Grand Prix. There's no denying that. But all that bit in the middle sort of just seems to go forever.
Well, I can never tell who's winning.
Oh, well, there's a little thing on the side, the right-hand side, that says 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. But, it's hard. It's hard to tell because the Channel 10, who has the contract there for the Grand Prix, and Channel 1, they are very much follow the particular bouts that go on on the racetrack. They don't necessarily focus on who's leading. So it does get a little bit difficult at times. But Daniel Riccardo, what a fantastic story this is for Australia. And I would say it's probably the number one. This will be the number one for 2014 in our sporting achievements for the year. It'll be the most reported. There's no denying that. That the fourth Australian has gone over with a checkered flag during a Grand Prix. He's only the fourth Australian, Andrew.
Not bad, is it? He's up there. Well, he's up there with Alan Jones and the legendary Sir Jack.
Sir Jack, and also to Mr. Webber. So,
oh yes, pardon me, Mr. Webber. Yes.
Yeah, well, the four of them, they're the only ones that have ever gone over, and that is fantastic. I think he's only a young fella. He's 24 or 25. Really great, down-to-earth kid. And he's got this sort of relationship with his teammate, which Mark Webber never could have with Sebastian Vettel, the German. There was a lot of controversy around their partnership and their team because they never got along. And there seems to be a relationship, a good friendship there between Riccardo and also to Vettel. So this could be the start of something very big, a new dynasty, if you like, in Australian racing. But the significance of it, Andrew, cannot be let go because when Daniel got up on the podium on just overnight or the night before, he actually will be seen in over 150 different countries. His commentary, the Australian flag, everything that he has got to say is going to be going right across the world, and it's just one of those elite sports that not everyone can go away and do or be a part of. In fact, the teams and the amount of money that it's thrown at this is almost ludicrous, but it is so well known, and it's probably one of the true international sports that you could say. And Daniel has put not only his name in the record books, but he's also now gone away and put his name and Australia's name right in front of the world community. And that's such a big thing.
Speaking of international sport, the World Cup is about to kick off, isn't it, Nick?
It's not far away, and Andrew, we are in the group of death. The group of death. The group of death. Now, for those that don't really know too much about soccer, don't worry, I didn't know much about it years ago myself. I got in there and learned a lot about it. But soccer is the world game. There's no denying that. Every country, it's the most represented in the world. But the World Cup is, well, I've got to say this, it's almost on level with par with the Olympics. I'll put that out to the listeners. Do they think that? Maybe, maybe not. But the World Cup... Fair call. Yeah, the World Cup, we are ranked 62nd in the world. We're up against Spain, Chile, and the Netherlands. 62nd, are we? 62nd. Mate, it's not our native game. You know, if Aussie rules was played internationally, I tell you, we'd be champion year after year. Let them see you do a drop punt. Let those Brazilians get, But Andrew, we get beaten by the Irish every second year. Hang on, I wish you hadn't mentioned that. I forgot about that part. But look, it is a competition in the world. There is no denying. And one little fact that we shouldn't forget, if we were to take one player out of Spain, there's one particular player that plays for Spain, and if we were to take all the Socceroos, to take all the team members of the Australian soccer team, and we were to put all their salaries together, one player in Spain even beats all of our players that play for the Australian soccer team.
So it is checkbook sport then, isn't it, really?
When you're that good and you're that elite, the sport that's played right around the world, particularly in the English Premier League or the Spanish League or the German League or the Italian League, they are very, very wealthy and they know how to put teams and sports together. And there's a lot of money involved. And one player from Spain makes up for all of the Australian soccer team. It's frightening. We might do all right. 8 years ago, we got out of the groups and we got into the next stage. But, look, it's a tough ask, and I hope the boys do well.
Yes, indeed. Spain, Chile and Netherlands, hey, the group of death.
We've got Chile, I think, this Saturday. So
yeah, that's right.
It'll all start. And watch everyone start coming in blary-eyed at night. But for you guys, it's you could just flick it on the TV.
Yeah, we will be doing some coverage of it here overnight.
Yes.
Actually. Not actually us, but we will have a sports person.
Somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Yes, because I really don't know anything about soccer.
Across the floor, I'd be more than happy to.
Okay. No, you're an instant expert, are you?
Well,
Hayes?
I'll be just sitting there watching all the Australian teams, and I'll either be frustrated, I'll either be cursing, or I'll be,
or giving wildly biased commentary on the games. Yes,
it would be.
Now, the Queen's Birthday honoured list, of course, has been big news earlier this week, or yesterday. And, yes, we've got some interesting media people and sports stars who have made it through.
The late Keith McGowan, fantastic, recognising Keith for all the work that he did. Steve Monaghetti, I mean, you saw him on all the TV newses right across the country. He seemed to be the poster boy for the Queen's Birthday's honour list. The Seekers, oh my, about time. A lot of people were saying
yes, well, when I read that, I thought, they should. I would have thought maybe years ago, Athel and Judith and the boys would have have those awards, but obviously not.
Well, I think they've just about got every other award.
Yeah, true.
We just didn't have that one ticked off, so they've done all right. And we love the Seekers. There's no denying it, and they are great. And it's about time. The couple of the questions that were put around the idea that Mike Munro and Channel 9's Richard Wilkins has caused a little bit of a stir, particularly.
I think the Wilkins thing is mostly for his charity work, isn't it?
Oh, my word. Yeah, it wouldn't be for the way that he delivers entertainment on Channel 9. I don't think he's going to win.
That sounds a bit catty. I mean, he's all right, isn't he?
No, but, I mean,
I know what you're getting at, yes.
You know where I'm going, guys. Richard, if you're listening and you're getting up and preparing for Channel 9 this morning, I do apologise, but look, no, it is for his charity work there. And Mike Munro, but look, there are 4 categories to the Order of Australia. So there are different categories and for different levels, what you might do for a particular industry, what you might have done for a particular individual or an outstanding achievement. There's different levels of this. There's over 700 awards that were awarded yesterday.
I didn't know that a fairy named Sparkle got an award. I didn't read that.
What a great story this is. I mean, Fairy Sparkle, who goes around and helps poor sick kids, and great way to acknowledge someone who's changing people's lives. And I think that's partly what all the awards were about, is about acknowledging people that are doing great things, and also too that are changing people's lives. And another word out there, Andrew, to all those Republicans out there, I'm pretty certain they weren't too upset taking the day off, and if they were, they should have been screaming and shouting, saying we should be at work today.
Yes, I didn't notice them today. No, out on the streets screaming out the Queen's Birthday holiday.
Court-martialed, actually.
Well, I sit opposite a monarchist here, Hayes. Nick, thank you very much.
I'm partly monarchist myself, but one other I would just love to just mention too, Angelica Turns from 2UEs, from part of the Fairfax family, also too, former ABC journalist, awarded to not just for her broadcasting and her achievements there in broadcasting, but also too for a lot of her social work. Interesting, she's been highly critical of these awards in past years in her broadcasting career.
Really?
And received the award but she was very grateful for receiving it on what she's done as part of her social work, not so much on her broadcasting, which was nice to hear and nice to see. But well done, Angela. We actually really do love her voice.
Yes, we've got to be a bit careful, we who are on air, about what we say we despise and what we have no time for, because sometimes that can come back to bite you. All right, thank you very much, Nick.
Good on you, boys. Talk next week.
Nick Hayes, Talking Media, overnight on 3AW.
Hi, it's Jane. I'm with Craig.